All right, good evening, everyone. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defendant ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, it took me a little bit longer than anticipated, but there was a lot of information to consider. Let me just start by saying that as multiple people have observed, this is a particularly difficult case because there's really nothing that the court can do that's capable of fixing the harm that has been caused to the victims in this case. So that being said, I've got to start with the law. I'm bound by the law, and the law gives me a guideline for how to analyze an appropriate sentence in this case. So I want to start with the Camacho case. It's really the first thing I need to address is whether or not the court's going to depart from the minimum in this case, which is 222 months or approximately 18 and a half years in the Florida State Prison as a minimum. The Camacho case, as Mr. Fitzgibbons pointed out and argued, lays out really a three-factor test. Is there a valid legal basis for departure? Is there competent substantial evidence that the facts support an application? Or do the facts apply to the departure basis that is being asserted? To both of those questions, I answer those yes. There is a valid legal basis for departure, and there is competent substantial evidence that would support a departure. And really, I'd find that as to all of the departure bases argued, with the exception of the disparity argument. I'll just comment on that one for a moment. The defendant has argued that an available basis for departure is the disparity between the guidelines and the sentence that Mr. Barano got. I don't agree with that. I agree that disparity could potentially be an available legal basis for departure. But in this case, I don't think it applies because I do think that there are important substantive differences between the facts as applied to Mr. Barano and the facts as applied to Mr. Heron. The state's put those on the record. I won't elaborate on it too much other than to say I think that the difference, the age of majority for Mr. Heron is one of those. But mostly I just think that the facts are different as between those two defendants. And so I don't believe that the facts in this case support that as a departure basis because I believe that a disparity in sentence between Mr. Barano and Mr. Heron is appropriate in this case.